Hey, what's going on, everybody? I hope each and every one of you are having an amazing day so far. I want to come on today's episode because I was reminded of a particular story, and bear with me. That's good old Freya down there, a lovely dog, lovely girl. But anyway, coming back to the point, what I wanted to go ahead and talk about today specifically is a topic that's near and dear to my heart. For those of you that have been watching me, following me, you know about how much I feel on Trent Shelton's self worth course. And I've already made a particular video about that, so if you want to check that out, that is definitely in my playlist, either under the Deeper Mindset Conversation, or if you want a more, I guess, shorter version, there is a video on that in my ad section as well, so you can definitely check that out. But the main point of today is, and I'm not going to get into the story a little bit, but a lot of us are what I feel are trapped in the game of comparison. And I know for me, I'm very much in that particular state, especially with what I go into in terms of the podcasting industry, in terms of the trading industry, in terms of the coaching industry. There are so many coaches, there are so many people that, and I'm grateful for their success as they do serve as inspiration to me. However, it is very clear that a lot of us can get trapped under that particular spell or curse, if you will, of comparing yourself, comparing what you're doing in your life, and thinking that because they might be ahead of you, they might be younger and doing it or older and doing it, doesn't matter. You could measure that out in so many specific ways. That comparison can be very detrimental, can be very depressing, and can be very daunting. And I know and of course, this lighting here is the best, but anyway, more to the point. When I think about comparison, right, I feel that a lot of times for me, that comparison could be in terms of, oh, somebody has a bigger trading account than me, so I'm not doing the things I need to do in order to go ahead and be able to take it to the next level. Or worse, it's a matter of, oh, they got a bigger following than me, they might have a bigger YouTube channel than me, all these things. And for a lot of us, that can get very daunting. That can get very discouraging. And we put ourselves in this role because we're so comparison that we want to be them, that we wish we were them. It takes all of the focus on them, and we're not putting that focus back into us. And that could be a very negative cycle if not checked and if not done carefully. So today I want to go ahead and invite you to do this little exercise with me. All right, it's not going to be too much of the talking today. We're actually going to go ahead and take some action. Now, I'm not going to be in terms of the domineering teacher role, or I'm actually not going to get into this. My lighting is just doing absolutely amazing things. But more to the point, the idea is that this stick right here, this stick, is going to be what's considered our measuring stick. And what I want you to do with this measuring stick, right? So I want you to write down everything that you believe you're measuring in your life that is not serving you. And I'm going to go ahead and do this. I'm going to go ahead and do the exercise, right? But I want you to go ahead and follow me, because what we're doing is what we're basically saying is that these things are controlling exactly how we're supposed to feel that success is measured to us. Now, again, that doesn't mean that, there are going to be many different answers. There are going to be things that I don't measure up as success that people do. And again, that's absolutely perfect. But the idea is we want to measure those things that are really contributing to the way that we feel about ourselves. Whether it is something that's holding us back, something that we feel we're lacking, or something perhaps that we have too much that we don't consider great, that other people, we feel are doing it better. The idea is to go ahead and the idea is we just want to say all those things that are making us feel like we are not good enough ourselves, and we want to go ahead and, instead of having it channeled into ourselves, where we feel we need to go ahead and hold that in, we actually want to go ahead and let that go and write it down on here. And we want to be in a position where we want to come face to face, instead of just thinking it. We want to come face to face in the visual sense of being able to go ahead and write all this down. So I'm going to go ahead and take a few minutes to write this down with me. Feel free to go ahead and do that as you're listening into the video. But the idea is I'm going to try and get this whole ruler, this whole measuring stick, written down, labeled with all the things that I feel I am measuring myself with. And, well, don't tell me my Sharpie right here has stopped deciding to work, so I'll be right back. All right, and that's why you go ahead and you get yourself a backup. So, again, the idea is to go ahead and just write all of this down, and you look at it, you see what you are measuring yourself with, and the idea is to come face to face with it. And it can be scary at first. I know it's very vulnerable to go ahead and do this and practice it on your own, but once you get this done and you do it right and you just get it out of the way, then you'll understand that really you're measuring a lot of inner things that you're measuring are basically all for naught. You don't need to measure them. You don't need to do it. You don't need to put that much pressure on yourself. You just don't have to. You just live your life the way that you want to go ahead and live your life. Okay, so I went ahead and I did that, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to show you specifically what I wrote down. So as you can see, what I really want to go ahead and show everybody is just how much I do in the present state feel about all these things. How all of these things, I might compare myself to somebody else, and the idea is all these things are really, in essence, even though I'm measuring myself compared to others, or in this practice, this is what we're measuring ourselves based off of. We're going to go ahead, and the idea, you have to forgive me, I spilled a little food right over here, so can't do nothing about that, but the idea is we want to look at what we're measuring that we consider we are inadequate in, just because we're comparing this to somebody else who may have all these things that we desire. And we're going to do something very important with that. And with that being said, we're going to go ahead and we're going to take this show on the road. All right, everybody. So I am back. And again, the idea is I've got this measuring stick right here. We can see all of these things that I've gone ahead and I've wrote down. And the way that we're going to execute this challenge is these are all the things that we are measuring. They're giving us a lot of unnecessary weight that hold us down, that prevent us from allowing ourselves to live up to the people that we desire and that we're destined to become. So, now that you've gotten all this written down, the idea is to simply do this. You take this measuring stick. It's a little bendable. And I'm wearing protective clothing. And the idea is that we're going to do this. You break the measure. You break free of that. It is no longer anything that you need to worry about. And now you're free to live your own damn life. So with that being said, I challenge each and every one of you to go ahead and participate in what I'm calling the Break the Measure Challenge. This has very much been inspired by Trent Shelton, so I do definitely am grateful for his tutelage. And I challenge each and every one of you. So I pick up that piece right there. I challenge each and every one of you to go ahead, break your own measure, and let's get 2023 rolling in a way where everything that's been holding us down, every measure that we have is now, from this point moving forward, null and void. So with that being said, everybody, I hope each and every one of you have an absolutely amazing rest of your day. An absolutely amazing holiday season. And before we go, I've got 3 very important words for you, or 3 very important phrases I should submit to you, or I will submit to you. I submit to you to be great. I submit to you to be favored. And I submit to you to be the person that you desire and that you're destined to become. Thank you.